Bloody g'day, you absolute mad dogs. Kade Turner here from kadeturner.com. Kade from the Basin podcast. I'm a session bassist for studio work or for live shows. I'm an educator, I'm super passionate, and I'm going to be doing a video on my rockboard pedalboard, my rockboard by Warwick, because it's bloody awesome. I'm pretty passionate about this shit, and I've had a lot of students of late hit me up about their pedals specifically, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to nerd right out and bloody get right into this board build that I've done, because it's friggin' exciting. I love it. I've toured with it for years, and yeah, let's bloody get into it. Part of my work, being a tone nerd, a pure bass tone nerd, is helping people understand their gear. Now, when I walk off stage and in my recordings, I'll often get complimented on how clean and clear my actual tone is. Now, there's a reason for this. Yes, I've worked for years on my technique, that's a given, but it's because I understand my gear and it's because of how I use it. I want to help you guys sound like mad dogs every show that you play. There's no reason to have shit live sound. There's just fucking none. So as I'll say a few times throughout this video, get in touch, hit me up. I love meeting you mad dogs all over the world. I love geeking out on this shit. It's literally become my job. And I love sharing the knowledge that I've worked so hard to learn. I've spent years and years and years tinkering, studying, having discussions, losing money, getting some great pedals, getting some pedals I regret, and then ultimately chasing my own tone that I love and that people seem to enjoy. This doesn't fall out the bloody sky. There's good reason for why my bass playing sounds the way it does, especially live. Before I get into my pedal board, I'm well aware of the Quad Cortex, Neural DSP's gear, and Dark Glass's anagram. I'm well aware that there are digital replacements. I get sent these boards from Rockboard. I'm a featured artist on Rockboard's website, which through kadeturner.com, you can visit my artist profile on there, which has this board on it. I've already owned these pedals and I use them live and in my studio. I'm a bloody nerd and I really enjoyed putting the time into building this board. It was a challenge and I had to think about it, and I'm really glad I did. So yes, digital can replace some analog gear. For me, I'm not fully sold. I still don't mind a bit of hardware. That's just me. There's definitely a few things to consider when building a board, and especially when wiring one up. The first one being, what are you going to use it for? This is something that just can't be overlooked because it literally dictates every single placement of every single bloody pedal on your friggin' board. Now, as you'll see here, this board is in a hard case. That's awesome. I haven't touched anything except put some sexy tour stickers on it. But what I did do is go down to Clark Rubber and get myself some foam internal lining, and this really just snugged the board in the case to stop it moving at all. It literally fits to the mill, and there's foam internal markings of the footprint of the pedal board, so that way everything just stays snug, especially with tour. I mean, the Cali 76 pedal on its own is discontinued and it was quite a lot of money, especially here in Australia. I've also broken one on tour before because some drunk friggin' dickhead knocked it off the stage when I was packing it up. So I'm extra cautious to keep everything snug now, and that's something I really feel is worth mentioning. I didn't have to do anything to the actual construction of this board when I got it new. All I did was just tweak the feet with the Allen key, and I put the Mod 1 adapter plate in there. Now, I've used this for 2 reasons. One, my entry and power to the board are in the same place, as in my input cable and power are going to the same place. So it's one less area on the stage on the side of the board that I or the singer or a drunk person hypothetically could stand on the cable and rip it out and just, cause havoc mid-set or mid-song. 2, is to be able to connect everything neat and tidy and leave it there permanently. So I'm not dealing with an adapter. You'll actually see it's just an IEC input to the Mod 1, and that powers the board. Now you'll see underneath my sexy wiring setup, and I'm really proud of that. I'm bloody stoked, to be honest. It took a lot of thought. It took hours and hours to route everything and set it in properly, but you will notice that I had an adapter that I had to have a 3-pin plug to an IEC. So I've done that to allow the adapter to be there and to not have to plug in a plastic adapter on stage with the risk of it coming out. When this board is set up, I'll tape it down and I'll tape the power cable and my bass cable into it onto the stage floor to just eliminate shit happening. Like, I've thought about everything, and I do that every gig, but it's just something that I really wanted to mention because I don't know if yous have ever had people come on the stage or singers or band members fall or someone be drunk or you're rocking out and it gets tight and you just panic because you're concentrating on your playing and all of a sudden, fucking bang, you've got no sound or you've broken a jack or the input jack to one of your pedals. No good, just no good. So that's why I do that. You'll also notice too that I've used all the same cables on this board. I can't stress this enough. If you think cables don't matter, you are cooked. They absolutely matter. They alter things like frequency response, signal transfer, noise. A chain is as strong as its weakest link. Like, you can have diamond coated cables either side of your board. If you've got one little shit patch cable, that's going to be the weakest part of your signal. Don't overlook this. I haven't. I've used right-angled connectors on this board as well just to save space. I think the red looks sexy. I think them being uniform is a smart idea. And I think it's nice and neat and practical how I've wired it, even if I do say so me bloody self. You'll notice the first port of call on my board is a Peterson strobe tuner. Now, I've used many tuners, many pedals, many rack tuners. I personally think Peterson are the best that I've ever used. They are ridiculously accurate. They're very reliable. And me being an audio nerd, I have to have things super in tune and extreme spot on intonation, especially with different gauge strings and especially with drop tuning. This is another thing that just can't be overlooked. Now, the reason I have it first in the chain is to be able to mute everything. Mute the DI, mute the front of house, mute your amp. You're not going to rip something out and have a big pop or snap that you're just not gonna friggin' want. You don't want that shit live, neither does the crowd and neither do the sound engineers. Just another little tip that I picked up over the years and that I've always used as a little safeguard, if you will. You will notice the second pedal on this board is my Mesa Boogie Subway DI. Whoo, holy Hannah, do I love the sound and feel of Mesa Boogie amps. And I couldn't replicate that live because unless I took the little Subway heads on tour, taking my M6 carbine head was just not practical. Now, this DI pedalboard literally mimics the internal sounds of the Subway and Subway Plus amps. So I get that natural mid-scooped, very distinct Mesa Boogie sound live. And you'll notice that it is before the compressor. Before I get questions, yes, there's very good reason for this. This DI is sensitive and it does have a tendency to pick up a lot of noise. It has very strong low end, sub lows, and it also has very harsh highs above 7K. So I will always ask the sound engineer and have a chat with him before the show to just say, man, this is what this pedal responds like with these basses and these strings and my playing. Keep that in mind. And we should be happy days, or as we say here, Bob's your cousin. So I have it before the compressor because the compressor is awesome, but it has a tendency to pick up noise and enhance everything. So if I had it before my DI, all of the noise through that compressor pedal is going to be transferred through the DI to the front of house. Front of house gets a clean DI signal. That's exactly why I do it. And I've used them on hundreds of shows and recordings. They're bulletproof and they sound amazing. The third pedal you'll notice is the renowned sexy Cali 76. Now, this is an amazing bass compressor. I've got it wired up for 18 volts, so you get that Lundell sexy transformer. I've got the sound out of it that I want. That's why I leave it there and I run it on 18 volt. If something is built and is going to sound and perform richer and fuller a certain way, I suggest using it. Otherwise, just get a little 9 volt one, which would have been ideal as well. But I already own the big TXL. I've used it on infinite amount of shows and recordings, and that gets sent straight to my amp. So the only cable I have coming out of the board is out of the Cali. Now, I could have routed that back to the Mod 1, but I'm always on the left side of stage. It's never been an issue. The cable gets taped down every show, so, you know, you don't slip over it or tip a beer on it, or, you know, some person doesn't run up and bloody rip it out of the compressor. And it just seems to work really well. So, you bloody legends, that's the construction of my board. Why I built it, how I built it, what purpose it serves, and how I use these things together. Now, I'm not endorsed by Peterson, Origin Effects, or Mesa Boogie. I just absolutely believe in their gear. I really do. I think it is incredible stuff. And that is why I've chosen it and built my board in such a way that it's bulletproof, it's tour-proof. I could speak for hours on sound demos and examples of the Mesa Boogie and Cali 76, but that's why they're on my board and how I use them. And it's been a proven formula. And I'm yet to walk off a stage and someone go, your tone was shit, and I couldn't bloody hear the notes you were playing. So, you know, whatever I'm doing works. Please hit me up with any questions about your gear and your board. I'll keep pushing as hard as I can. I'm an absolute passionate bass nerd and audio nerd. I absolutely am. And I love yous. Please reach out for any comments, questions, and tuition. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the Basin podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit me up. Subscribe to my mailing list. Stay tuned because there's more and more news coming. Hope you enjoyed the video, you mad dogs. If you aren't aware of pedals and pedal boards, I hope you just liked sitting in for a friggin' yarn. I bloody love you sexy mad dog legends. Catch ya.